Hollywood Studios opened on May 1st, 1989, with its original name Disney's MGM Studios. It was created to rival the newly planned Universal Studios Orlando, which opened a year later. The park included working production facilities for films and television shows, a backlot, and an animation studio for Walt Disney feature animations. Unfortunately, throughout the 2000s, these elements were removed as more attractions were added, and in 2008, the newly titled Hollywood Studios now celebrates and showcases all things Hollywood. I will go through this list starting with the oldest current attraction all the way to the newly opened Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. First off, we have Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular. This show first started a few months after the park's opening day on August 25th, 1989, and features a live-action movie stunt performance reenacting scenes from the first Indiana Jones movie, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Still as popular as ever, this show has been running for over 30 years, and it continues to be as exciting and enjoyable as its first showing. I love the opening scene with the rolling boulder and the audience participation, which gives the chance for guests to take part in the show. It's my all-time favorite show at any of the Disney parks and is a must-watch every time I visit Hollywood Studios. Opening later in 1989, Star Tours became the first Star Wars attraction to ever be created. This simple 3D motion simulator ride has gone on to be added to many other Disney parks around the world due to its popularity. It was updated in 2011 to Star Tours The Adventure Continues, which added a variety of scenes from all three trilogies. With these new scenes, there is a total of 384 different combinations, giving each ride a completely unique experience, and gives the chance of a lot of re-rideability. I like Star Wars and I like rides, so what's not to like? It usually has a low wait time as well, giving you a chance to ride a few times on your visit. 2 years after the opening of Hollywood Studios, Muppet Vision 3D was added to the park. Directed by the legendary Jim Henson, this great 4D show was one of my first ever experiences with 3D, and I still have fond memories of watching it as a child. It's still enjoyable for both adults and children, but I fear that this show is on its last legs. I do hope that Hollywood Studios can keep the Muppets in the park and update this show to a more modern setting. With the decrease in the Muppets' popularity, Disney may look into other IPs to replace this show. Next up, we have another show, Beauty and the Beast, live on stage. Originally added in 1991 on Hollywood Boulevard and moving to Sunset Boulevard in 1994. This show features all the characters and songs from the classic animated film. For me, this show looks the most dated in the park, and unless you have young children, I would give it a miss. It feels like just something to do rather than being exciting to go and watch. I hope Disney can either update this show or introduce something new in the future. Moving on to yet another show, Voyage of the Little Mermaid, which was added in 1992. This live performance uses puppets, lasers, projections, and mist to enhance this production of the classic Disney film, which gives it more of an edge compared to Beauty and the Beast. It's surprising to see these two shows still in the park after nearly 30 years, but I can understand with the live-action remakes, these shows will be sticking around for a while. 2 years later, in 1994, the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, along with the Sunset Boulevard section of Hollywood Studios, opened. This was a great addition and the park's first e-ticket attraction. I love this thrilling ride for many reasons, including its awesome storyline, the incredible theming, and the randomized ride system. I hope that Disney keeps the same theming rather than changing it like they did in California Adventure to Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. But with the new Guardians of the Galaxy attraction coming to Epcot next year, it should be safe for now. Hollywood Studios' nighttime spectacular, Fantasmic, has been running since 1998 and offers a show filled with fireworks, characters, pyrotechnics, and water effects. Compared to the night shows at the other parks, I think this presents something a little different and is a very enjoyable show. I would recommend using a fast pass for priority seating, and it's a good way to wrap up a great day at Hollywood Studios. Walt Disney World's first and only inverted roller coaster, Rockin' Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith, was added in 1999 to attract more guests that enjoy the thrill factor. It is an indoor roller coaster that has 3 inversions and a high-speed launch. I still remember the first time exiting the pre-show to see and hear the screams of this great launch, and it still holds up as a great coaster. The problem I do have with it is the theming. I've never been an Aerosmith fan, and I didn't have a problem with it 18 years ago, but it has become very dated. I know in Disneyland Paris they are giving a refurb to this Rockin' Roller Coaster to a Marvel-themed attraction, which can't be done in Walt Disney World, so I think an Incredibles-themed coaster would be a good fit, and an Edna Mode pre-show would fit perfectly. Added in 2001, Walt Disney Presents is something that needed to be added to one of the parks, and Hollywood Studios was a great fit. Walt Disney Presents is a walkthrough mini museum exploring the life and legacy of Walt Disney through photos, models, and rare artifacts. At the end of the walkthrough, you can choose to watch a short biographical film, One Man's Dream, which is a must for any Disney fan. Even as a kid, I enjoyed learning about the life of Walt Disney and have always enjoyed this attraction. The next existing attraction, Toy Story Mania, was added 7 years later, in 2008. This is an interactive 3D shooting gallery featuring characters from the Toy Story franchise. For me, this is a vast improvement to the dated Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger spin over in Magic Kingdom. I like the variety of the 5 minigames, which are a tribute to the classic Midway games found in many amusements over the years. With the opening of Toy Story Land last year, it has been given a new entrance and continues to get high wait times, which it fully deserves. Time for another show now, which is the popular, for the first time in forever, a Frozen sing-along celebration that opened in 2014. As a fully fledged adult during the release of this film, I have to say I didn't much care for it, but I understand why it gained its popularity. But I was pleasantly surprised with this show when I first watched it. I enjoy the 2 hosts who bring a little humor for the older guests in the audience, and it has a great atmosphere when everyone is singing along to the popular songs. And I think that Let It Go with the added snow effects is a great way to end the show, and everyone leaves with high spirits. I think the older shows in the park can learn something from this fantastic modern show. Next we have Star Wars Launch Bay, which is an interactive walkthrough attraction featuring Star Wars character meet and greets, film memorabilia, games, and of course, a gift shop. This was added soon after the announcement of Galaxy's Edge in late 2015 and offers something for all Star Wars fans. It's nice to walk around and check out all the movie props, and it's very fun to do the meet and greets. With the opening of Galaxy's Edge, I believe this area will eventually be used for something else, so if you haven't had the chance to check out Star Wars Launch Bay, I would do it sooner rather than later. We are now coming near the end of our list. With the opening of Toy Story Land last year, 2 new attractions were added, starting with Slinky Dog Dash. This family-friendly roller coaster is a new thrill ride that the park was in much need of. It's not as exciting as Rockin' Roller Coaster, but it's still just as fun. I like the theming of this coaster with all the noises and different characters that can be seen, and it is a great attraction to ride at night with all the colourful lights seen throughout the land. I think it would be a great first coaster for children that want to start with something a little lighter than some of the bigger coasters. The other attraction in Toy Story Land is the Alien Swirling Saucers, a spinning attraction similar to Mater's Junkyard Jamboree at Disney's California Adventure. For a simple flat ride, I found this rather enjoyable. Again, I enjoy the theming and the music, and the way it whips you around some of the corners. It can make you feel that you are going a lot faster than you actually are. Later in 2018, a new show for younger audiences, Disney Junior's Dance Party, was added to the animation courtyard. To be honest, I haven't watched this show, and I don't recognize many of the characters at all. My wife and I will be having a baby next month, so I look forward to checking this show out in a few years' time. Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy is a show featuring Lightning McQueen and other car characters. It's a nice little show and shows off an impressive audio animatronic, but it is nothing compared to Radiator Springs, the Cars-themed land in Disney's California Adventure. There have been rumors of a Cars retheme to Rock and Roller Coaster, therefore creating a small Cars-themed land in that area of Sunset Boulevard. But with Disney's focus turning to Epcot after the completion of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, I can't see this happening in the near future. And finally, the recently added Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run in the newly built Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. I haven't been able to visit this new and exciting land, but from all the footage I've seen so far, it looks great. Smuggler's Run is a motion simulator attraction giving 6 riders a chance to be a pilot, gunner, or engineer as they go on an interactive smuggling mission. It looks fun and gives a great re-rideability, trying out the different roles as well as attempting to beat previous scores. I hope Disney can keep this ride fresh and update or change the mission every year or so to offer something new for returning guests. The next 2 attractions in the park are fairly new, so I won't add any ride footage to try and keep it spoiler free. The first, The Rise of the Resistance, is the most ambitious dark ride Disney have ever created, with a fully immersive experience as you escape the First Order. And the last attraction that was added earlier this year is Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which replaced the Great Movie Ride at the center of the park. Being the first attraction featuring Mickey Mouse, this is a ride not to be missed. So that wraps up the attraction guide for all the rides and attractions in Disney's Hollywood Studios.
Hi, Goofy! Well, you ready for a picnic? Yep, we're off to the park. See you over there. Nothing can stop us now. I don't know how. There may be trouble. cars. We'll take a ride on the train. Excuse me, you there.
Who, me?
Do you mind helping these good people into the cartoon while I fix this here locomotive?
Well, I guess I can do that.
What?
Thanks. Be back in a jiffy to pick you all up.
This way, I think.
Gracias. How many?
3.
3. You're gonna go row 3.
Welcome aboard, folks. We're ready for a relaxing ride around the park.
Hiya, folks. Hello there. How you doing?
Hey, Mick and Ben.
Sure you can look there, our friend.
Gosh, there was Bane. What could possibly go wrong? It all
Hurry, hurry, hurry! Step right up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and
for sticking with me. Hey, picnickers! Told you nothing was gonna go wrong.
ABC Commissary Restaurant. The commissary is tucked between the Chinese theater and the sci-fi dine-in theater restaurant, and it's supposed to be like the cast commissary on a movie studio backlot, since this was the transition area to the original New York street set. Anyways, we wanted to do in-person ordering, not mobile ordering, so the cast members at the door led us through to the one register for in-person. After about a 10-minute wait, our food and drink came right out. Stacy got the buffalo grilled cheese, which gets 5 stars, not so much for the chicken, but the egregious amount of ooey gooey cheese made more so by the cream cheese in the mix. I had the chicken club. We'll come back to this dessert in a moment, but for drinks we got frozen apple cider with whiskey and green apple boba. And a Happy Days, which is a tropical too sweet and not strong enough libation. Our original frozen cider wasn't frozen at all, so this one was our second attempt, and the manager checked in to make sure it was all good, and it was all good. My chicken club was perfectly serviceable with avocado, bacon, and cheese, and I really do like those fries. The dessert was a Choco overload, and I think it was just for the start of the 50th celebration, so it may not still be around. It was a little difficult to get through the cookie in the middle, but after we deconstructed it a bit, it was really decadent. In my opinion, the raspberry-flavored chocolate mousse was the best part, but if you could get a little bit of everything at one time, the textures were great together. That's it, a quick review. The commissary has lots of seating, it's indoors and air-conditioned, and has some pretty good food options. Give it a try.
Yeah, but we don't have to like all be together all the
Well, I said hello like 3 times and all I heard was background noise. Really not the ride, right? Yes, oh, because I did
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
They're like,
Oh. I mean, we're consenting adults, so I feel
Well,
like
no, I
it's
think
like,
it's alive, but you know, you say
no, I feel like adult. You really need
Oh, what? Oh, okay, sure. All right, thank you.
We had lap bars too. Oh, yeah. No seatbelts, lap bars. A guy yesterday was like, I remember when row 3 will be middle right.
Estimados huéspedes,
3. And then row 2 you'll be front left.
a bordo, por favor, permanezcan sentados en
Scared? Oh no.
brazos
And row 1 you'll be front right.
Alrighty.
dentro del elevador en todo momento. Y por favor,
Alright.
Perfect. Beautiful. Now I need everybody both hands up as high as you can get them for me, please. Wonderful. Now please keep those hands up. I remember it. Wonderful. Now everybody hold on to something.
Good try, good try, good try.
reviews by the end of the night.
You're the passengers of the Ocean Comet elevator about to ascend into your very own Arizona, the Twilight Zone. One stormy night long ago, 5 people stepped through the door of an elevator into the night. That door is opening once again. This time, it's opening for you. You are about to discover what lies beyond the 5th dimension, beyond the deepest, darkest corner of imagination, in the Tower of Terror.
This is simulated, right? That's a list. I like it because it feels like it's operating.
A warm welcome back to those of you who made it, and a friendly word of warning. Something you won't find in any guide. The next time you check into a deserted hotel on the dark side of Hollywood, make sure you know just what kind of vacancy you're filling, or you may find yourself a permanent resident of the Twilight Zone.
We're done. You survived.
Sure, a second.